Hello all, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm Marin and today's video is going to be my review of the 10 books that were nominated for the Missouri Building Block Award in 2024. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not sure how many of you are going to find this video useful because I will be talking about children's book recommendations, but these were 10 books that I did read to my students and I got a good feel for how they felt about them, and I felt like this would be a good way to kind of give you some book recommendations if you are either a teacher looking for books for your classroom library or a parent looking for books that would be good read-alouds for your young children. So hopefully you can find something interesting in this video regardless, but we're gonna go ahead and chat about the 10 books that I did read to my pre-K and kindergarten students this past year and give you my thoughts and also in the end how they felt about them. So let's go ahead and get into it. First, let me go ahead and give you some background information about what the Building Block Award even is. This is an award that was first given out in 1996 and has been given out each year since then. Basically, we are given a list of 10 books that were selected by the Youth Services Community of Interest, and that is through the Missouri Library Association. So the goal is to find good books that work as read-alouds for young children, specifically children ages birth through kindergarten age. And it's not adults voting for this book to see which one is the best in terms of adult interest. The children actually vote for this themselves, which is really nice. So basically we are given 10 books. The goal is to read those 10 books to preschool and kindergarten aged students. So for me specifically, that means my full day pre-K and my kindergarten, because we have half day pre-Ks that I do not service in terms of special area class. So it's the full day pre-K class and the kindergarten class. So that works out to about 140 students that I was reading these books to. At the end of me reading these 10 books to them, they then got to vote for the one that they liked the best. I then inputted our school's votes into a Google form, and then the Missouri Library Association tabulates all the votes to come up with the winner. So that's basically how this works. But it is designed to encourage reading aloud to children, and I would say this year they picked some winners. Last year there were a couple that I didn't like as much and that the students didn't like as much. This year they were all winners. So you can't go wrong if you're looking for cute read aloud books for young children. I've got 10 of them for you, so let's go ahead and just get into them. Now I will just be running through these in alphabetical order by the author's last name. These are not in terms of like how I would rank them. I will get into that at the end of the little rundown and reviews. So the first book is My Dad is a Tree by John Agee. This is about a little girl and her dad who spend the day pretending to be trees because a little girl wants an excuse to stay outside all day. It's a really cute story. Dad gets very frustrated like towards the end, but the little girl gets her wish. They stay outside all day. They get to meet some cute animals. But it was really cute. The illustrations were really nice. So that was the first one, and it was a winner with my students. The second book was A Bear, a Bee, and a Honey Tree. This was written by Daniel Bernstrom and it was illustrated by Brandon James Scott, who you will actually see as an illustrator for another book on this list. But basically we are following a bear who wants some honey from a tree and a very diligent bee that is trying their best to keep the bear from eating their honey. The illustrations in this one are amazing. They were so nicely done, really pretty. I think they were probably painted, at least that was kind of the feel that I was getting. But this one was really, really cute and I enjoyed reading this one a lot. I thought it was really adorable. The third book is Woohoo, You're Doing Great, which was written by Sandra Boynton. She also did the illustrations. This one is about a chicken who is basically going around giving everybody positive affirmations, and it was really adorable. But because the chicken has a way of doing the positive affirmations in a not great way, because he's basically shouting at everybody, and he ends up waking up some people who are napping. And it kind of goes into just a cute little look at how we apologize for making mistakes and we learn from those mistakes and things like that. So it was a really cute book. The students really liked this one. The chicken made them laugh. Next up is The Best Bad Day Ever by Mariana Copo. This is about a little wolf whose name is Wolfie, who wakes up on the wrong side of the bed and is having a terrible day for the most part of the book. It is very reminiscent of Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Wolfie goes to school. He's having a rough time where he meets a penguin who is also having a bad day, and the two of them become friends. My students really, really liked this one. It actually wound up being the second place voted book, and they really loved this one. I think a lot of them kind of could relate to having that bad day and finding friends at school. So this one was adorable. The fifth book on the list is A Good Place by Lucy Cousins. This is about a group of insects who are looking for a good place to live. And it talks about how each of the bugs wants something specific to make it a good place and how they have to kind of work to find that good place. And they finally do with the help of another bug. So this one was just kind of nice to give some background information on insects and to kind of remind students that these little creatures are outside and we need to be mindful of them. The next book is I Was Born a Baby. This was written by Meg Fleming and it was also illustrated by Brandon James Scott. I mentioned we would see him on this list twice. This is basically a look at all kinds of different animal babies and teaching students the names that they go by. So it would start off saying things like, I was born a Joey. And then we would have other animals that also are called Joeys when they're little. Or I was born a chick, and other animals that are called chicks when they were little. The illustrations were really nice. It introduced my students to a lot of animals they were not really familiar with. So it gave us a lot to talk about, and it just kind of exposed them to things that they did not know previously. This one did really well with my students. It wound up tied for third place. Next is No Is All I Know. This is by Chris Grabenstein and it was illustrated by Leo Espinoza. This one is about a little boy who says no to literally everything, including things that you normally would like. So he goes through a part of the book just saying no to everything being very difficult. One day his cousin comes over and his cousin says yes to everything. And by doing that, he exposes the child who keeps saying no to new things and kind of opens up his world a little bit and gets him to experience new things. So it's got a very good message for the students. They loved this one. This was the #1 voted book by the students and actually all of the children who voted in the state of Missouri. So this one is definitely a winner. If you want to pick any of them, this one is kid approved. The 8th book on the list is I Am Stuck. This one was written by Julia Mills. This is about a turtle who gets stuck on his back and a bunch of animals who come by to try to help Turtle get back on his feet. The animal that finally succeeds is a possum, and the possum does that kind of by just hanging out on his back as well and talking with the turtle and things like that and getting the turtle kind of over the hump of trying and failing. So this one was really sweet. I liked this one a lot. The kids really liked this one. It didn't rank in the top 4, obviously, but I believe this one came in right after those top 4 books. The 9th book on the list is my personal favorite from this list, which is Mr. Kitty is Lost by Greg Pizzoli. We are following a little girl whose cat has gone missing. She is giving you clues to help you kind of find the cat. So she says, like, Mr. Kitty has green eyes, Mr. Kitty has a pink nose, Mr. Kitty has stripes, that kind of thing. And at the end of that, we get a bit of a surprise regarding who Mr. Kitty actually is, and it was really cute. I love the illustrations on this one, and the kids liked this one as well. This was the other one that was tied for third place, but again, I would have made it the winner. And the final book on the list was Problem Solved by Jan Thomas. This is about a rabbit who has a very, very messy house, and he's kind of complaining about it when this porcupine shows up and says that he will help the rabbit clean the house up. But the porcupine does not actually help. He makes things worse, so in the end, the rabbit is the one that winds up cleaning up the house. And it's just kind of a fun story about how we need to be responsible for our things. We need to not rely on other people to clean things up for us. So I really liked that message. The illustrations were cute. The end of the book was kind of funny. It kind of takes a bit of a turn. The kids thought it was funny, and this one is definitely a good one if you like humor in your read alouds. So there you go. Those are the 10 books that were nominated for the Building Block Award nominee this past year in 2024. Again, my personal favorite was Mr. Kitty is Lost, but the students liked No Is All I Know, and honestly, all of these got votes though. So last year there were a couple books that didn't get any votes. All of these books got at least 5 votes, which I realize doesn't sound like a lot, but considering that we had to spread the votes amongst those 10 books and there were about 140 students voting, I figure that's still a pretty good average. So you can't really go wrong with any of these. Some of them have really lovely illustrations. Some of them just have good, solid messages, and all of them made for good read aloud. So if you're looking for some, there's 10 of them you can go with. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this list, and I will be back with another list of recommendations that will be geared towards students in grades 1st through 3rd. So if that is your age group, stay tuned for that. That one will be coming eventually. And otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. If you made it to the end of the video and would like to leave me an emoji, you can leave me a cat emoji in honor of Mr. Kitty is Lost, my personal favorite book from the list. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.